thanks for joining this episode of the LGBT Outdoors Podcast Trivia. Pew, 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 pew. That's my impression of an air horn. Anyhow, I'm your host, Patrick Thompson, currently in the form of a tube of chapstick that you keep losing. Where did those things go anyway? We're here to play a round of trivia. I'm going to ask 10 questions based on 5 cornerstones because why have 4 cornerstones when you can have 5? It's a pentagon. Those topics are public lands, LGBTQ history and culture, wildlife, conservation, and recreation with a focus on national parks because, hey, July is National Parks Month. Before we get to the game, I want to introduce the founder of LGBT Outdoors and my handsome husband, Justin Yoder.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Glad you're here. And we have a couple super special guests today who are playing with us. Justin is obsessed with this podcast called National Park After Dark. I, through plenty of exposure, have also become a massive fan. It's somewhat unique and really calls for a description from the creators themselves. LGBT Outdoors, please welcome the hosts of the podcast, National Park After Dark, Danielle and Cassie. Welcome.
Yay.
Hello.
Thanks
for having us.
That was a wonderful introduction. We're blushing a little bit.
I can't tell you how I'm excited to have you on our podcast because I was just on yours on June 26th for Pride Month, and thank you for allowing us that and blowing up our email and our Instagram and everything. It was it was quite fun and kept us really busy the whole week, really. But yeah, it's been amazing. It was great exposure for us for sure, and
big time. Like
I'm always telling our team how much I enjoy your podcast and that it's my favorite podcast. So a little surreal moment again to have you on ours for a trivia episode. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us. And we're so happy we're so happy you came onto our podcast. It went so well and we got so much positive feedback, and it's exciting to hear that people found you through our episode as well, which is really exciting.
I'm not even kidding you. I think we have had at least 10 people that have been interested in becoming an ambassador through that, which is a lot.
That is so cool.
For a quick turnaround. And
that's huge.
Our podcast numbers just skyrocketed. Our Instagram numbers skyrocketed, just everything. So it was really cool. And one thing that I really loved about it too, going back and looking at the comments on your Instagram that you posted about it, was that as of right now, I haven't noticed one negative comment on there. And a lot of times when brands or other podcasts or whatever that's not LGBTQ related make a comment on Pride Month, like all of a sudden, it brings out the haters. But that just goes to show the community that you've created is incredible and so awesome. So
yeah,
bravo to you two. Can you tell us a little bit about who each of you are and why and how you started the National Parks After Dark podcast?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Danielle, and Cassie and I met through work when we lived in New Hampshire. We were both veterinary technicians for a long time. After college, we grew up in the same small towns, like adjacent to one another, and we probably saw each other at a few parties growing up. For sure. Maybe a couple drunken field nights in New Hampshire that we don't remember. But we officially met at the animal hospital. We worked for several years, and we both bonded just not only because we're from the same area, we have a lot of the same interests, but we had a passion for the outdoors. And we spent a lot of our time outside of the animal hospital in the White Mountains. And I particularly have a very morbid sense of curiosity that I've had my whole life. And I kind of can attribute that to any sort of interest I have. I just kind of make it a macabre twist to it. And so when we would hike outdoors and things like that, we would talk about some of the gnarly stuff that had happened there, whether it would be a death, a rescue, an animal attack, what have you. And when we decided to move away from each other into different parts of the country and different kind of paths of life, we continued our friendship in a podcast form, I guess. And it's kind of taken hold, and a lot of people have now fallen in love with it.
And I'm Cassie. I'm the other side of that description. And yeah, I mean, we just both love the outdoors, and we wanted to create a space where we could tell stories that may or may not have necessarily been told before. And Danielle's definitely the more morbid side of the podcast. I would say she is interested in that, where I am more of, I like happy stories, I would say, and I gravitate towards things that are a little bit less morbid. So I think we found a great way to mix the two of them to make it something that's enjoyable and fun and not so dark all the time.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely the ray of sunshine in this relationship, and brightens things up. Otherwise, it would be like a pretty solo, depressing podcast if it was just my own. So she brings a lot of like the yin to my yang, and I think that a lot of people respond well to that. And our biggest hope out of the podcast, once we figured out that this thing was actually taking hold and was not just a side like fun project, was that people are so intrigued and wanting to get outdoors more, despite us sharing some pretty creepy or dark stories that happen there. And that's all we could have hoped for, is for people to become more involved in an outdoor space.
That's amazing.
Well, I love it. It's so much fun to listen to, and it's like, congratulations on everything. Cassie, I have a question for you. On your website, it says that you believe in puck wedgies. I don't know what that is, but I want to know if I should believe in them too.
Let me get you a picture of one so you can see it yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to have like the full picture in order to make an informed decision, I think, on this one.
Cool.
So she's doing you a service. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I will totally post a link to some puck wedgie resources in the show notes, along with all the other sources, if you're curious.
Let me see. I'm trying to find.
Like, out of all the cryptids, a puck wedgie would totally be Cassie. You know, when someone's like, if you were an animal, what would you be? You know, like, what is your animal that, like, have you heard of a quokka before? The like world's happiest animal. If you look them up,
Yes.
they're like the smiley little like rodents.
He would know it if he saw the photo of it. Like they're in New
Like
Zealand or Australia
I think,
somewhere, and they always look like they're smiling, like a stuffed cartoon animal. That
Yeah, like that's Cassie, and that's like a puck wedgie in cryptid form.
Okay.
I love that.
That sounds like my people.
I mainly pick puck wedgies because I think that they're so funny and they're cute. They're like they're supposedly these like 3 feet tall little trolls that like.
Okay. It looks like a hairless cat crossed with a hedgehog.
That's a really good description.
But
they just make me kind of happy to look at.
But we also aren't sure if moose are real either. So, I mean,
we're pretty sure they're not.
Pretty sure, yeah.
We've done the research. Yeah.
So
my head is exploding right now.
So
this is awesome.
If you're a fan of National Park After Dark, you'll know the inside joke behind that. But yeah, I've got to get one of those hoodies that say moose aren't real. I think that's hilarious.
Okay, we laugh about it at least like 3 times a day, just because it's so funny that this is like what our life is now. And so many people ask us like, hey, love the podcast, but I'm a little lost at like what that's about.
You're like, moose are real.
Honestly, so are we, because I have no idea where this started, what happened, but it's taken a life of its own, and it's just funny as hell. So
it is.
And we get frequent DMs that are like, okay, I just want to let you know, like, moose really are real. And they'll send us photos of them. And sometimes we'll still go along with it. We're like, that kind of looks like Photoshop to me. They're like, here's a video. And I'm like,
I love it. I love it so much. Like, the day I got all caught up on your podcast, which there's what, like 150 some episodes, somewhere around there?
156, I think, we're somewhere around there. Yeah, in the 150s.
The day I got caught up, I was so excited and so bummed at the same time. And now I have to wait each week for them to come out like everybody else does.
So very sad.
It is, but it's so good.
It's exciting that you listen to all of them, though. That means like a lot to us.
Well, I mean, thanks. Yeah, I mean, when I say that you guys are my favorite podcast, I'm not exaggerating. Like, it'd be like National Park After Dark and then LGBT Outdoor Podcast.
Wow. We're honored. We're honored.
Absolutely.
Justin, you are such a fanboy.
I am.
He is.
I am.
No, but here's the thing: is like he will have these conversations even when he's not in front of Danielle and Cassie. Like that this is 100% legit. That this isn't for show.
No. Yeah, no, it's real. We're going to talk about it more at the end, but where can people listen to your podcast and learn more about you guys?
We're everywhere. I mean, any platform you listen to podcasts on, we're on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher. I think we're on iHeartRadio. Pretty much anywhere that you listen, we're there.
Okay.
And we're on Instagram at National Park After Dark.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies, we are glad that you're here to help celebrate National Parks Month through the magical splendor of trivia. And so are our other players, who I will now introduce. Right out of the gate, I want to welcome back the current reigning champion of the LGBT Outdoors Podcast Trivia, or LOPT for short, LOPT. She's won every single trivia game we've played so far, all 2 of them. Through her vast knowledge, she has crushed her foes in the trivia arena. She is one of our LGBT Outdoors ambassadors for the state of New Hampshire, and we recently read one of her stories on a Campfire Conversation episode. Really want to welcome to Cherie Belanger.
Yay.
You know, I just love it. I love hearing my name when you say it. It's just, you do it so well. That's just really great. So thank you.
Excellent.
Interesting that you guys were actually talking about the podcast and stuff, because we actually just got a new member in our New Hampshire LGBT Outdoors Facebook group today because they heard you on the National Park After Dark podcast.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I got a DM from her, and she was like, "Yeah, I didn't even know you guys existed." And then I was listening to my favorite podcast, and one of your people was on there talking about it. So that's how I found you, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's really amazing. I'll have to let them know."
That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love it. Cool. Next up, I want to introduce our LGBT Outdoors ambassador for Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's got an abnormally sharp sense of fashion, and it seems like he's always out on the water for fishing, kayaking, tubing, rafting, you name it. Joining us for his first round of trivia, a big hip hip hooray for Brody Mesh.
Hey y'all, glad to be here. Patrick, what does that mean?
How you doing, Brody?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What does that mean, abnormally abnormally?
So when we were down in San Antonio visiting Columbia Sportswear and going tubing, like you're just a snappy dresser.
Oh, okay.
So it's a compliment.
I had to wear my new Columbia gear.
Nice. Awesome. How are you feeling about your first game of trivia?
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm an outdoorsman. I'm a scientist, so I think I might have a little heads up on the wildlife questions. But Cherie, I'm coming for you.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
That has been said before.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome. Well, glad you're here, Brody.
Me too.
Also joining us for our first game of Lopped, our other LGBT Outdoors ambassador from New Hampshire, teams up with Cherie to lead and grow our presence in New Hampshire, and they basically run the entire state. So please welcome to the stage avid hiker, runner, and outdoor adventurer, Diana Moore. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. I think it would be absolutely hysterical if you were to dethrone Cherie.
I don't think it's possible. She's amazing.
Okay.
She's got a pretty good chance, I would say. I don't know. She's pretty smart.
Absolutely amazing. Well, we are so glad that you're here. And last but not least, also entering the trivia arena for his maiden voyage, he's uncomfortably fond of reptiles. His beard gives him superpowers to be the LGBT Outdoor Ambassador for West Columbia, Texas. Welcome to the show, Dustin Larson.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm excited to be here.
We're glad to have you. You and Justin are representing Texas, so y'all need to step it up. This is going to be exciting.
No pressure.
I'm just hoping not to be last. That's all I want.
Well, we'll see what happens.
So much faith in me.
Oh, no. I have all the faith in the world that somebody is going to come in last.
I have a bad feeling that it's going to be me.
Cassie, no.
Can we just pool all the New Hampshire people's points together?
No.
We got four of us here.
I think New Hampshire should team up.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Team New Hampshire.
That is crazy lopsided. That is totally unfair.
I feel like New Hampshire is
You
trying to
brought
come
four
for
New
us.
Hampshire people here.
Right. Well, it would be unfair because it's all women over here and you guys don't stand a chance. So that's just
y'all would crush everybody else, hands down.
I feel like we should be able to phone a friend or something if that's the case.
Well, we can see what happens. There is a new thing that we're doing this episode is there's an opportunity for a bonus point with one of the questions. Ooh. So that might make the difference. On our last episode, I made a mistake. I started at the top of the show saying that there would be a round of 10 questions. In the thrill of being your trivia Sherpa, I flat out skipped question 5. So we'll begin with question 5, which is now question 1. Got it? Good. To keep things fair, each player will write down their answers on a dry erase board and only reveal their answers when asked. No phones or Googling, or you'll be strapped into a boat and set adrift inside Disney's It's a Small World, where you'll be forced to listen to that oh-so-catchy song on loop for hours upon hours as you stare into the small, soulless eyes of those semi-creepy animatronic children. And now, let's do some trivia.
That was my favorite ride when I was 10 also.
Yeah, I now have that song stuck in my head.
You're welcome. No, I do like that. I'm
going to start singing it if this keeps up.
No, please don't. Because then
I'll join you.
It'll get stuck in my head. Sweet. All right. Are you all ready for trivia? Here we go.
Let's do this.
Question
Ready.
1. This is multiple choice. And this is on the topic of conservation. About 1/3 of the U.S. land area is considered to be forest. That's about 819 million acres, 228 billion trees, and 10% of global forests. The question is, which state has the largest percent of land inside their borders as forest coverage? So we're looking for the state with the highest percent of forest coverage. Your options are A, New Hampshire, B, Maine, C, West Virginia, or D, Vermont.
You kept all the choices so close together. Like you couldn't have thrown like Arizona in there or something.
I know.
The answer will be somewhere up in the Northeast.
Thanks.
Which state has the largest percentage of land inside their borders as forest coverage? A, New Hampshire, B, Maine, C, West Virginia, or D, Vermont? And if y'all want to give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Sharia is looking very... got a thumbs up.
Completely a guess.
Same. I know,
That's
same.
okay.
Oh no, I know this one.
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
All right. If y'all can show your answers, please. Diana.
Maine.
Maine. Danielle is saying Maine. Brody is saying Maine. Sharia is saying Maine. Cassie's saying New Hampshire. Justin's saying West Virginia. Dustin, what did you answer?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. All right. The correct answer is Maine. You've got a 89.46% coverage of the state of Maine is forest. New Hampshire's really not too far behind with 84.32. West Virginia is 79, and Vermont is just shy of 78% forest coverage.
I like.
Aside from
That's pretty
go ahead.
close.
I like how you started off a question that helps all of the New Hampshire people.
What?
Hey, well,
I got it wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
my
stop right
goodness,
there.
this is fighting
Justin,
words.
he told you it was going to be in the Northeast, and you were like, "Oh, I'm going to go with West Virginia." Like, what is that?
West Virginia is at
Justin, didn't you-
northeast, at least compared to us here in Texas.
It's above the
It's
Mason
north.
City
It's
line.
north.
That's
You
just
knew that
north.
But this question was also written about like 2 months ago. So just want to recap. Diana got that right. Danielle got that right. Cassie got that right. And Sheree
No, I got
that
it wrong. I
Cassie
said
got it
New
wrong?
Hampshire. Yeah.
Ah, thank you.
Brody got it right.
Brody and Danielle. No. There we go. I'll cut out that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I almost
have
went
some.
with New Hampshire on that one too, because the White Mountain National Forest is like 25% of the state all by itself. So
I could have
sounds
sworn I had heard somewhere like that it was
Yeah.
New Hampshire. So when I heard Maine, I'm like, oh, that state has so much forest. But I'm almost positive I've heard it was New Hampshire before. So that's why I wrote it.
Nuts.
there's definitely a lot of trees here.
But
Yeah.
still really close.
Very
Aside
close.
from producing our so important oxygen, trees clean up carbon dioxide and smog. They help protect land from fires, soil erosion, wind, and flooding. They also give us awesome foods like fruit, cinnamon, maple syrup, and chocolate. So keep an eye on the health of those trees. Awesome. I'm excited about this next question. Are y'all ready?
Ready.
Bring it on.
Oh, sweet. Okay, this is on the topic of public lands. I hope that y'all get this. The home of Yogi Bear and his little sidekick Boo Boo. What is the name of the fictitious national park which hosted Yogi's picnic basket crime rings and shenanigans with Mr. Ranger, sir?
This is
I literally
really
can't write a single thing because I have no idea.
a question. This is
This is
Is
absolutely
it
a
multiple
question.
choice?
It is not multiple choice.
Oh, man.
Remember back to your childhood. What is the name of the fictitious national park where Yogi Bear lived?
Okay, can we just define when our childhoods were? Because Cassie and I grew up in the 90s, and I feel like this is before our time. Just gonna say.
What are you saying, Danielle?
What are you saying, Danielle?
What are you saying?
I'm saying like maybe it was like the 80s or
Yeah, but they did like a movie. There was a live action movie that they did in like the 90s or early 2000s as well.
There
So-
was. It was
I do
horrible.
remember Yogi the Bear.
No, it was very terrible. But
oh, was it?
But I mean, if you were a kid, you probably enjoyed it.
Wait, is this? No, I don't even want to ask because you're probably gonna all laugh at me. So never mind.
go ahead.
I was going to say, is this the same? What is Bullwinkle? Like, is he a different
He's a fictional
thing?
character. Because moose aren't real, but he's supposed to be a moose.
It's Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Thank you. Okay.
That's right.
That's what I was thinking of. I literally have
Nieces
no
to
idea.
pieces.
I think you should start introducing us and including our age.
No. Nope. I'm trumping that right now. That's not happening.
Yeah, that would ruin the mystique because nobody ever believes me when I tell them how old I am.
Oh, nice.
What is the name of the fictitious national park where Yogi Bear and his sidekick Boo Boo had their adventures? Cassie's got a thumbs up.
It's a thumbs down because I'm wrong.
Yeah, we don't know.
But I wrote
That's
something.
a spirit. All right. Answers, please.
I put Yogi Bear National Park ?
I like that.
That is an answer, Cassie. Thank you. We've got Jellystone from Diana.
It's
Cherie,
Jellystone.
Jellystone.
I remember.
Justin says Jellystone.
I don't have
Brody says the real version, which is Yellowstone. Dustin, what did you say?
Jellystone.
Jellystone, sweet. So to recap, we've got Justin, Danielle, Cassie, and Diana with the
No, I
Dustin.
did not. I'm not involved. I didn't write down anything.
Okay, thank you
You
for
wrote
your
down
honesty.
Yogi
That
Bear
was way
National
before
Park.
her time.
It was before my time.
Well, in all fairness, like the only reason that I got it was because there's a Jellystone park close to us that has him as their mascot. So it was a guess, but like to me that just like kind of made sense.
That's an
There's a whole bunch of those
guess.
campgrounds around Jellystone campgrounds or something.
Yeah.
They have like
There's
a
several.
Yogi Bear in there. Yeah.
But this is actually part of like a really cool story. And believe it or not, this is on the National Park Service's website. It says Yogi Bear, the iconic Hanna-Barbera character, has always been associated with Yellowstone. His home of Jellystone National Park is full of similarities to Yellowstone, such as the iconic Old Faithful geyser of Yellowstone. Although Yogi and Boo Boo were peaceful characters, Yogi's schemes to steal picnic baskets and other food from visitors to Jellystone were representative of real problems faced by visitors to Yellowstone and other national parks. Hilarious and lovable, Yogi Bear made the perfect choice for visitor education mascot for Yellowstone. Hanna-Barbera agreed to produce bear education pamphlets and signs for park's non-commercial use. The park set about writing and creating handouts to give park visitors detailing bear safety measures. So it's very likely that Yogi Bear saved lives in Yellowstone. In the
I
real
feel
world.
like you just gave us a podcast idea.
I know, my
Saying.
light bulbs are going off over here. I'm like, hold
You're
on, say
welcome.
that one more time. I've just got to write that down a little bit more.
Well,
Did
there will
Yogi
be
Bear do a pamphlet about bear spray not being used like
Yes.
Don't use
it
that
is not
bug spray.
repellent.
You just did a podcast on
Smokey Bear.
Yeah, so this would go good with that.
It
Only
would.
you can prevent forest fires. All right. I
I've been
am
to
a
a
child.
Jellystone park, and I still got that answer wrong when I was a kid.
I kind of want to go to one. Awesome. Sweet. Well, moving on to question 3 on the topic of LGBTQ history and culture. This is multiple choice. In 2016, the National Park Service designated an LGBTQ plus historic site to honor the LGBTQ rights movement. Which city is this historic site located in? If you get it right, I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me near which important landmark the plaque is located. So to get the question right, we want to get the city. Here are your options. A, San Francisco, California. B, Gayville, South Dakota. C, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Or D, Palm Springs, California. This is a 2016 historic site designated by the National Park Service to honor the LGBTQ rights movement. I'm really curious if anybody's been there to see it. And everybody is kind of staring at me blankly, like, what the crap kind of question is this?
And this is
how am I supposed to know
the
this?
city? Can you repeat the question and the answers are going?
Yeah. In 2016, the National Park Service designated an LGBTQ plus historic site to honor the LGBTQ rights movement. Which city is this historic site located in? A, San Francisco, California. B, Gayville, South Dakota. C, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Or D, Palm Springs, California. What are we thinking? Diane giving thumbs up. Danielle, Cassie, Brody. What are we thinking? Justin.
I'm confused because I think I know what you're talking about, but I really don't think it's in any of those cities. What was the bonus?
Awesome.
Did you say that there's a bonus?
Yes. If you get it right, and you can tell me what building this plaque is located in front of, I'll give you a bonus point. Oh, Diana starts writing. Does she know? I'll be so impressed. All right. Dustin, if you want to give me your answer.
I said San Francisco. I have no idea, though.
Okay. That's a good guess. Everybody else, your answers, please. Brody says Philadelphia. Cherie says Philadelphia. Cassie's saying San Francisco. Justin's saying San Francisco. Danielle is saying Philadelphia. Diana is also saying Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Diana, put your thing down real quick. Philadelphia is the correct answer.
Independence Hall.
Yes, Diana is correct. The plaque reads Gay Rights Demonstrations, July 4th, 1965 through 1969. Annual public demonstrations for gay and lesbian equality were held at Independence Hall. These peaceful protests and New York Stonewall riots in 1969 and Pride Parade in 1970 transformed a small national campaign into a civil rights movement.
I had an unfair advantage, I admit. I'm actually originally from Philadelphia.
Oh, so you know, like you've actually seen it with your own eyes. That's pretty cool. See, it comes in handy. Who knows where like these little random nuggets of knowledge will pop up.
From city to the wilderness.
Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. Well, we're going to move on to question 4 on the topic of recreation. Oh, this is fun. Collectively, the National Park System has trails through some of the most magnificent parts of the country, from remote wilderness paths to interpretive walking tours along city streets. All together, how many miles of hiking and walking trails are there within National Park Service jurisdiction? This is multiple choice, by the way.
I was going to say this has to be multiple choice.
So we've got A, 18,000 miles, B, 20,000 miles, C, 22,000 miles, or D, 24,000 miles. How many miles of hiking and walking trails are within the U.S. National Park Service jurisdiction? A, 18,000, B, 20,000, C, 22,000, or D, 24,000. Justin's answer. Justin, thumbs up. Danielle, thumbs up. Everybody. All right. Answers, please. We've got 22. Diana, is that 22? Okay. We've got 22, 22, 24. Brody coming in 18,000 with the correct answer.
Aw. Danielle and Cassie, you had me excited.
Totally
Sorry.
guessing.
They were all so close together that it was hard to pick one, really.
Right.
I just picked.
Yeah.
The longest point-to-point trail entirely within the National Park Service is the North Country Trail, or it will be when the trail is officially complete. The planned route will measure 4,600 miles from North Dakota to upstate New York, traveling through the Great Lakes region and highlighting the natural features and culture history of the North Country region. That's a whole bunch, a lot of walking.
Yeah, that's longer than the AT.
How long is the AT?
It's 2,200 miles, I think.
Which, I mean, is still like a whole, that's like a lot.
It's a lot of miles.
Yeah, it's a lot of miles.
It needs some-
Georgia to Maine.
Wow. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Next question. Oh, this is a fun one too. On the topic of wildlife, with a thundering presence in one of the United States' most popular national parks, this breed of mammal has been observed engaging in same-sex activity. More than 50% of mounting in young males of this animal happens among their same gender. So the majority of mounting in young males of this animal happens among their same gender. What animal is it?
Is this multiple choice?
This is not multiple choice.
Is this in parks? Is that what you said?
This is inside
This-
one of the United States' most popular national parks.
Okay.
I'm going to read the question one more time because there's a really big hint in there. With a thundering presence in one of the U.S.'s most popular national parks, this breed of animal has been observed engaging in same-sex activity. More than 50% of mounting in young males of this animal happen among the same gender. What animal is it? Got some thinking, got a couple thumbs up. Justin looks pretty, no? He's shaking his head. He was excited and then he shakes his head.
I wasn't excited. I have an answer. I have an answer.
I feel like
All right.
Danielle knows just based on her face.
It's the only animal that came to mind, and I just wrote it down immediately, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Your face is like, I know. And I'm like, oh, she knows.
I'm not too sure, but like, I feel like it makes sense.
Feel like if there's a gay animal in a national park, this is it.
this is it.
Cool.
It's obviously a moose.
All right.
Those aren't there.
Yeah, they're there.
All right, we've got thumbs up from everybody. Answers, please.
Oh, we wrote the same thing. I wrote a bison too.
Yay.
Justin saying bighorn sheep. Cassie, Cherie, Danielle, and Diana, and Dustin are all saying bison. Brody is saying wolf. The correct answer is bison.
Yes, I got one. This is my first point.
Welcome to the
Nice.
board.
What was the clue? Thundering?
Thundering.
Thundering.
And one of the biggest national parks. I'm like, it has to be a bison.
How do you get thundering from bison?
They're the sound of their hooves.
I was thinking of bighorn sheep
their
hitting
heart.
their horns together was the only thing that I was like, that's not really thundering, but all right, fine, whatever.
Wolf. I thought it would be wolves because they always play around like that. But when thundering,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
wolves don't thunder.
Let's see. Yes, bison. Homosexual activity between male bisons is more common than heterosexual copulation. That's because female bisons only mate with bulls once per year. And during mating seasons, bisons get, horny and will engage in same-sex activity several times per day. If you want to read all about that, there's a link in the show notes.
We definitely want to go read all about that after this.
Because gay bison, I mean, they're out there.
They're bison.
Doing a way to. They're bison. Oh, okay. I won't even try my joke. That one won. Sweet. All right. Well, we are halfway through. I'm gonna do a score update. Justin and Cassie both have 1. Yes. Cherie has 4. Danielle is on the board with 3. Brody's got 3. Dustin's got 2, and Diana has 5 because of her extra point. Diana is out there in the lead. Ooh.
Did you say Danielle? I missed how many you said she has.
Danielle has 3.
I have 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cassie and I just want to
me and Cassie are like up there.
Yeah. Well,
and we come as a team.
Well, as New Hampshire,
So
New Hampshire is totally raking it in.
I would say that, New Hampshire is just crushing it.
Cassie and I just want to be number 1. So, I mean,
we're not getting any more points
No more.
this entire game.
I just want to
because
say
we want to be
number
number
1.
1.
you've heard me talk about how awesome LGBT Outdoor Fest is, and now I want to tell you about our home for LGBT Outdoor Fest, Rainbow Ranch. Located in Groesbeck, Texas, just a short drive from Dallas or Austin, and on the edge of Lake Limestone, Rainbow Ranch is the largest LGBTQ+ campground in Texas. They have been named Best Weekend Getaway by the Dallas Voice for 9 years. With nearly 700 acres to explore, there's hiking and bike trails, fishing, canoes, sand volleyball, and even a pool to relax in. Whether you're wanting to camp under the stars or stay in a cabin, the friendly staff at Rainbow Ranch has you covered. They've got primitive campsites with power and water, large cabins, small cabins, RV spots, an apartment, and even a house that can sleep up to 14 people. We've been out to Rainbow Ranch a handful of times to camp with friends and enjoy some special event weekends, and it's always a great time. For more information on their special events and accommodations, you can make your reservation at rainbowranch.net. So if you're wanting to unplug and recharge or explore and let loose, head on over to Rainbow Ranch.
Rolling into the second half of our LGBT Outdoors podcast trivia game, on to question 6 on the topic of conservation. Percentage-wise, this is multiple choice. Percentage-wise, how much of the trash floating in the ocean and littering our seashores is plastic? How much of the trash floating in the oceans and littering our seashores is plastic, percentage-wise? A, 30%, B, 50%, C, 70%, or D, 90%?
Oh, I know someone that's going to get this one right. No pressure,
There's a lot
Brody.
of trash. How much of it is plastic? Oh, Brody should know this.
I should. I've been a marine biologist for 10 years, but I honestly don't know.
Better get this right, Brody.
Oh, no.
So
Terrible.
A, 30% of the trash is plastic. B, 50%. C, 70%. Or D, 90%.
Okay.
All right, Dustin, if you have your answer, go ahead and type it out. All right, we've got some thumbs up. So let's go to the scoreboard. Danielle says 90. Justin says 70. Cherie says 90. Brody says 70. Cassie says 90. And Diana says 70. The correct answer was 90. 90% of the junk in our oceans and waterways is plastic. Let me get you some points real quick. Got Diana, got Danielle, and Cassie.
Diana didn't
I got
get
another
it.
point.
Good job. What?
Diana didn't get it.
Oh,
Keep
man.
giving people points.
Cherie has now tied Diana for first place, so it's all New Hampshire right now.
I'm sorry. Dustin got it. He typed it in 90%.
Maybe that was just the hopeful in me that I was hoping that it was less than I thought it was.
Yeah. One can hope and work toward that goal. Plastic poses a serious threat to our oceans and waterways. Birds, turtles, fish, and other marine life ingest plastic pieces, mistaking them for fish, eggs, plankton, jellyfish, or other food sources. Every year, hundreds of thousands of sea creatures, both large and small, die from complications related to plastic debris. They may have a stomach full of plastic that they cannot digest, or they become fatally entangled in debris. Harmful chemical pollutants can also attach to plastics and add to the toxicity of plastic debris consumed by animals. Risks to human health from microplastics in seafood are also currently being assessed. Back in the day, a couple years ago, when we were doing LGBT Outdoors live streaming during the pandemic, Kai Anderson, who's a great friend of LGBT Outdoors, spent some time chatting with Justin about environmentality and explains some of the sad truths about these microplastics. The link to that episode will be in the show notes. Yay. No, it's hard to be like, yay, we're moving on. This is exciting after like some sad. I need to remember not to do sad
After you
trivia.
destroyed the planet with that question.
Right. But I mean, like it's important for people to know.
Definitely. Absolutely.
I mean, so yeah, keep your plastics out of the waterways. Okay, this next question, I'm going to start doing, I think, a trivia question generated by ChatGPT. And they are 100% crap 100% of the time, but this is question 7 on the topic of public lands. Mount Rainier, an active stratovolcano, is a prominent feature in which U.S. national park?
Okay.
I'm going to read that again. Mount Rainier is an active stratovolcano and a prominent feature, in which U.S. national park?
Gotta like chat. What?
Chat GPT with the lowbrow questions. All right, everybody's kind of giggling. We've got quite a few thumbs up. Dustin's got his answer in. All right, answers, please. Dustin, Diana, Danielle, Justin, Cassie, all get it right. It's Mount Rainier National Park.
Sure.
It was a little on the nose, Cherie and Brody, which was probably why it was deceptive. But that was Mount Rainier. I'm going to get y'all your points. And that one I got correct. So that was Justin, Danielle, Cassie, Diana, and Dustin who got those correct.
I feel like I'm going to make a comeback. That just gave me like some energy, and I'm like, okay.
Back in the game.
Go get him! Ascending to 14,410 feet above sea level, Mount Rainier stands as an icon in the Washington landscape. An active volcano, Mount Rainier is the most glaciated peak in the contiguous USA, spawning 5 major rivers. Subalpine wildflower meadow rings the icy volcano, while ancient forest cloaks Mount Rainier's lower slopes. Wildlife abounds in the park's ecosystems. A lifetime of discovery awaits. That is from very, very like descriptive, flowery writing from the National Park Service.
Well, they're not far off because I lived in the shadow of that national park for several years, and it is hands down, I think, the most beautiful park I've ever been to.
Oh, wow.
In the right season.
What's the right season?
So very like I would say like end of June, early July is when things are like the roads are starting to open, depending on the snowfall and things like that. Wildflower season, there's like a few months in there that you're good to go. Early fall is also awesome. But yeah, the subalpine meadows, wildflower season, and just like that enormous glaciated peak is always there. So it makes a really nice contrast to otherwise like a lush greenery, kind of scene, but then it's like huge glacier. It's awesome.
That sounds amazing. If you want to learn more about Mount Rainier, there's a link on this question in the show notes. Sweet. We are coming into our last 3 questions. We're on question number 8. This is on LGBTQ plus history and culture. A little bit darker. Which country was the first to decriminalize homosexuality? This is multiple choice. Which country was the first to decriminalize homosexuality? A, Australia, B, France, C, USA, or D, Canada? Let's see if there's any history nerds among us. I totally would have gotten this wrong, by the way.
Oh no. That doesn't give me
good luck.
That doesn't give me as much hope.
We got some thumbs up. We got some thinking and deep thought. All right. Dustin has his answer in. Answers, please. Dustin says Canada. Danielle says Canada.
Mine says
Diana
France. If you can't read it.
Thank you. Diana says Australia. Justin says France. Cassie says France. Cherie says France. Brody also says Canada. The correct answer is France.
Yes.
And it's really more of kind of like a legal loophole oversight. In 1791, let's see, I'll just read it. Although same-sex sexual activity was a capital crime, believe it or not, that often resulted in the death penalty, all sodomy laws were repealed in 1791. The French Revolution decriminalized homosexuality when the Penal Code of 1791 made no mention of same-sex relations in private. So by accidental omission, it just sort of became legal for a while. They went back, but let's go to the scoreboard because I forget. I know Justin got that. Cherie, can you wave at me if you got the answer right?
Yeah, no, I did. It was France.
Right. Got Cherie.
I actually have an interesting anecdote for you as well.
Oh, sweet. Do tell.
So I don't know if any of you have ever read The Count of Monte Cristo, written by Alexander Dumas, but it came out in the 1830s, and there is actually lesbian activity in that book.
Whoa.
I read that in eighth grade, and I don't remember that.
That's right. Yeah, one of the characters, Eugenie, actually runs off with her girlfriend. She's betrothed and stuff like that, and the marriage falls apart, and she takes off with her girlfriend, who actually cross dresses and pretends to be a boy, but they get caught in a hotel room or something. And so they're lesbians and they're in there. And that was written in the 1830s.
That is spicy for that time period.
France.
Yeah. In that age group. I don't even remember that.
I literally read it in 8th grade, was not part of the discussion.
Me either.
I got it right. The France one.
Yay. Danielle, did you?
No.
Okay. So moving on to question 9 on the topic of recreation. According to research by Statista, name 2 of the top 5 most popular outdoor recreation activities in 2021. So 2021 in the US, name 2 of the top 5 most popular outdoor recreational activities in the US. I almost started reading off the answers as if it were multiple choice, but I chose not to because that would kind of give it away. Lots of quiet and lots of deep thought Cassie's ready. Justin's ready. Danielle's ready. Dustin's ready. We are still thinking Cherie and Brody. All right, we're going to do this one at a time because I have to check the list. We'll start off with Dustin, who says hiking and swimming. Hiking ranked number 2 on the top 5. Swimming, however, is not on the list. Diana, what was your answer?
Walking and cycling.
Walking and cycling, yes. So walking, hiking is number 2. Biking is number 4.
Well done. I don't think I would have guessed biking.
All right, Danielle.
I have hiking and mountain biking.
Hiking and biking. That is ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. You get a point. All right, Justin, you're up. He says camping and hiking. Camping is on number 5, or 5 of the top 5. Hiking is number 2. So Justin gets a point. All right, Cassie, what say you?
I also have hiking and biking.
Hiking and biking. Cassie gets a point.
Can I guess number 1 though? Because I almost wrote it down, but then I didn't.
You can guess. Go ahead.
I think fishing is number 1.
Fishing is actually number 3 on the list.
I was torn between doing fishing and hiking, actually.
Let's see what Cherie said.
I need to know what number 1 is at the end of this.
Camping and hiking. Cherie gets a point. Nice. And Brody, you're up.
I have hiking and paddleboarding. I just feel like there's a big explosion around that time for paddleboards.
That is a great guess, and I don't think you'll be too far off in the future. However,
Oh no.
In the future.
We'll start with number 5, which is car, backyard, or RV camping, with 45.9 million people doing that in 2021. Number 4 is biking or cycling with 51.4 million. Number 3 is fishing, coming in at 52.4 million. Number 2 is hiking with 58.7 million. And the number 1 recreational outdoor activity in 2021 is running, jogging, or trail running, with 64.5 million people doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost went with that too.
That's a whole lot of running, which is awesome.
I was not one of those 65 million people.
No way.
Either.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that one. I wasn't expecting that.
Sometimes when I see a trail runner, I'll start pretending I'm running until they pass me. I'm like, yeah, awesome. I run too, actually.
That's a good self-esteem boost.
You're like in your hiking boots trying to run.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, this is my day off. I'm just slight drugged today.
Oh, that's funny.
Love it. All right, we're coming up to the final question of the round. We'll do a scoreboard update. Justin on the board with 4. Cherie has 6. Danielle up there tied with 6, with 6 points.
Ooh.
Cassie's got 5. Brody has 3. Diana is eking out a lead with 7.
Actually, if I can, because I hate to be a sticker.
Oh, no. If I missed something.
I have 7.
Come on.
I have 7.
Man.
I'm sorry.
I'm losing it. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so my answers were, and just so that you know, I'm not cheating. So Maine was the answer to the first question. Jellystone was the answer to the second question. Philadelphia was the answer to the third question. Diana got the bonus point for that one. I did miss the fourth question. Bison was question number 5. The plastic question number 6, 90%, was that I missed the Rainier one, and then it was France was question number 7, that was 8, and then camping and hiking was the last one. So that's 7 points, my friend.
That is, I need to go back to school and learn how to count. But Cherie kept the receipts, and showed me.
Danielle, no
so
pressure
sweet.
here. Like, I think you're the. Wait, Diana, what are you at?
We're tied. Cherie
Diana and Cherie.
Oh, both have 7.
New Hampshire is an absolute powerhouse, y'all.
Danielle's still
And
in, though,
count us all
technically.
together.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nice fight, Cassie.
Awesome. So, that's where we stand going into the last question. And I'm excited about this question too.
I have a question. Is there any more bonus point opportunities, or is this it?
There was only one.
All right. Okay. That's all I need to know.
But if one of them miss it and you get it right,
what
well,
happens
if
then?
both of them miss it and you get it right, then there'll be a tiebreaker.
Well, the odds of that are low, so I'm not worried.
There's that confidence I've been looking for.
It's possible.
I do have a trivia deck if we need an extra bonus question at the end.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm not in the running.
Okay. Good to know.
Competition's getting real.
Right.
I was going to have you start writing all the questions. Question number 10 on the topic of wildlife. What animal is the largest of all the deer species?
Oh my God.
And this is awesome on so many levels.
Shut up. Shut up.
What animal is the largest deer species? This is multiple choice.
Oh, it doesn't have. Okay, I don't think.
No multiple choice. No.
I don't think any of us need it. I think
I need to phone a friend.
Brody, you know this.
I didn't know this. I found this fascinating, but it seems like everybody else knows this. I know Dustin knows this. I know Justin's going to know this. All right. Just show me your answers, please. Everybody. I can't read yours, Diana.
Moose.
Everybody gets it right. And, when y'all were talking about moose not existing, I was trying to keep my crap together.
Well, that's what I was like.
This question was coming up.
Literally half of this show is from New Hampshire, where the moose is
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Patrick.
But it's a breed of deer. I had no idea. That's wild. I'm going to read a fact about it because it's fascinating. Cervids are one of the most common wild herbivores of the world. Of these, moose can grow up to 2.33 meters tall and weigh as much as 1,800 pounds. The smallest of them is the northern poodoo, which can stand just at 13 to 14 inches and weigh anywhere from 17 to 13 pounds. But a moose, if they exist, are part of the deer families.
It's a big if.
And for something we're not sure about, we really know a lot about it.
We're certainly passionate about it.
We are, yeah.
We're being prepared just in case that they are real.
Right.
So along the lines of Sasquatch. Squatching.
If we start getting a lot of DMs about moose are real,
people get upset.
You know what you've set up for is that when you bring LGBT Outdoor Fest to New Hampshire, there's probably going to be a moose that's going to walk right by us.
That would be awesome.
Sweet.
Can I hope that I could be there for that? Because I have never seen a moose in New England ever.
Oh, really?
I have tried, and I have never seen one.
And I think that's where this all stemmed from, is that statement right there.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen one. They're not real. And everyone was like, moose aren't real. I'm like, yeah, moose aren't real.
Have you seen a moose at all, or just not in?
Yeah.
Maybe
I
if
lived
they
in
are real.
Jackson, Wyoming, and I allegedly saw some when I was there, but never in New England.
I've never seen one. I don't think they exist.
You ever never seen one in Louisiana?
No.
It's kind of that whole I've got a boyfriend, but he lives in Canada sort of scenario.
George Glass.
Well, for us, that's not unfathomable to have a girlfriend in Canada.
True.
That is true.
Down in Texas. Yeah. Well, we've got our two fantastic New Hampshire LGBT Outdoors ambassadors in a deadlock going horn to horn. So let's wrap it up with the tiebreaker. Everyone is welcome to play along, but Diana and Cherie are the only one whose points will count. We're looking for a number. Whoever is closest to the number wins. Okay. How many individual sites are managed by the National Park Service? This is more than national parks, reserves, preserves, battlefields, etc. This is everything, every individual site that they take care of in their jurisdiction.
Oh man, I know this, but I don't remember it.
I wrote a number down.
I wrote a number down too.
If you listen to LGBT Outdoors podcast 2 episodes ago,
give so many clues.
I don't know if I should show my answer, even though I'm not involved in this tiebreaker, because I feel like this is something Cassie and I should know.
Yeah.
All right, so you definitely...
I'm going to stay silent because I know it and my point doesn't count.
You both definitely need to share.
I quote-unquote know it.
All right. Let's see what we've got. Diana and Cherie. Diana, can you read your number?
120.
120. Cherie says 225. The correct answer.
Can the rest of us show our answers too?
Please.
Okay.
Dustin is saying 497. Justin is saying 435. Danielle is saying 423. Cassie, do you have an answer? Or are you?
I put 450.
450?
Yeah.
All right. The correct answer, Danielle was definitely closest. The National Park Services manages 424. I believe they've recently added one, Danielle.
Well, there we are.
Individual units covering more than 85 million acres in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. But that being said, Cherie was once again closest and continues her stranglehold on the title.
I contest.
LGBT
that was an
Outdoors.
Unfair question. Just a random number. Test our knowledge on facts.
If you would have listened to our podcast.
That is technically a fact.
She wasn't even near that number. Everybody else was closer.
I did listen to the podcast. And
to be fair.
Well, I didn't get it right, but I was pretty close.
But most of y'all got pretty much in the ballpark, which is really impressive. Like, the bottom line is that National Park Service is a massive undertaking, and we want to celebrate that all month long with National Parks Month. I want to thank everybody for joining our LOPT, our trivia adventure today. Justin, Danielle, Cassie, Cherie, Brody, Diana, and Dustin. They're not only wicked smart, but they're also each doing incredibly wonderful things to make the outdoors a more inclusive and diverse space. And I think that that's pretty freaking amazing. If you have a cool trivia question you'd like to ask, or if you have any thoughts to share with us regarding this episode, email me at patrick@lgbtoutdoors.com. Be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/lgbtoutdoors to support our mission of connecting the LGBTQ plus community to the outdoors and to each other. Be absolutely certain to go and check out Cassie and Danielle's podcast, National Park After Dark. It's awesome, and you can go see their website at npadpodcast.com. All of their links will be in the show notes, as well as all the source and more information on the trivia questions, as well as the Instagram accounts of all of our players. To learn more about the LGBT Outdoors as an organization, visit our website at lgbtoutdoors.com. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this trivia episode, like, share, and follow wherever you get your podcasts. To our players, to Cassie and Danielle, Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all are awesome. Keep it up, and congrats on all of your success. Cherie, congrats on a third big win. We owe you like 3 t-shirts now. I haven't forgotten. We're just really, really bad at keeping up with that stuff.
No, it's fine. I would like to point out that I'm not as dominant, really, because 2 of my 3 wins have been tiebreakers.
But you're still winning.
Because remember, I almost gifted JC. Well, I mean, yeah, there's that. But I'm just saying, it's not like I'm dominating or anything.
But you are.
Well under extreme pressure.
So thank you, everybody, so much for checking out the LGBT Outdoors podcast. Until next time,
Get out there.